We are going to discuss on fascism, that is how fascism was emerged. Guys, let me tell you that fascism was a political ideology that emerged in Italy after First World War. After First World War, two extreme political ideologies were emerged in Europe. That one was the fascism that was emerged in Italy, and the other was the Nazism that was emerged in Germany. And later on, these two political ideologies become responsible for the Second World War. Today in this clip, we are going to discuss the factors which were responsible for the emergence of fascism in Italy. The first was the political conditions of Italy. After First World War, the political conditions of Italy were not good because of multiple reasons. And you could see a number of things that clearly shows the unfavorable political conditions in Italy in post-World War One period. For example, after the Treaty of Versailles, a some sort of unsatisfaction was present in Italy. The people in Italy were saying that the other European powers did injustice with them, and because they didn't give the due share, their due share in German overseas territories, which were captured during First World War. And a communist power was emerging in the globe after the successful Bolshevik Revolution, which was considered as a threat to the global political system. And such other conditions were responsible for unfair and not favorable political conditions in Italy. Second was the ambition to become a Mediterranean power. Guys, if you will see the location of Italy in globe, it's at the coast of Mediterranean Sea, and the mainland of Italy is almost 70 miles from the coast of Mediterranean. And its geographical location made it some sort of a prison of Mediterranean. And if any power got control on Mediterranean, they could easily seize Italy. So it was in their national interest to become a Mediterranean power. So their national security could not be under threat. This was also responsible for the emergence of fascism in Italy. And the population growth and the checks on immigration were also responsible because the population was growing very fast in Italy, and the fascism were also encouraging population growth in Italy. And on the other hand, the other European powers like United Kingdom and France had checks on immigrations. So the growing population in Italy had no accommodation. This gave them a thought that if they want more place for the growing population, they need more land, and the fascism was some sort of a tool to get more land, and this thought was responsible for the evolution of fascism in Italy. The supporters of the fascism said that after First World War, the economic conditions of Italy were not favorable, and the political conditions were also not favorable. So because of the unfavorable political and economic conditions, people had inclination towards fascism. So this gave a local support to the fascism, and fascism was emerged. While the opponents don't believe on such things, they said that in fact the economic conditions were uh, getting improved after First World War in Italy, and the economic conditions of other European powers were also not good after First World War. So to say that the worst economic conditions were responsible will not be correct, according to the opponents. Anyhow, the economic conditions of Italy were not good, and the political conditions were not favorable. After First World War, the demand for various goods in Italy were falling sharply, and this creates some sort of hyperinflation in Italy. And the political conditions were also not good because of the political chaos between nationalists and socialists, and this give a chance to the fascists to emerge. As usually, guys, if the economic conditions and political conditions of a country become worse in such circumstances, the hardliners got chance to strengthen themselves. Same was the case in Italy. The Treaty of Versailles versus Treaty of London. Guys, Treaty of Versailles was signed after the First World War, and before the Treaty of Versailles was basically signed to distribute the powers, distribute the territories they allies got in First World War. And we have a separate lecture on Treaty of Versailles that we please do subscribe and watch that lecture as well. And Treaty of London on that as well. We have a separate lecture as well. Let me clear here that Treaty of London was a secret treaty that was signed with Italy in 1915, and through this treaty Italy through this treaty Italy participated in the First World War, and under this treaty Italy was assured that they will get due share in German overseas territories. But Italians believe that after war they didn't get due share as they were promised under the Treaty of London. This 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 creates some sort of political resentment in Italians, and this resentment helped or fueled the fascist movement in Italy. And the conflict between nationalism and socialism was responsible for the political chaos in Italy. Nationalists and socialists were at political war, and during this period, uh, Mussolini was emerged. Mussolini was emerged just like a prophet, and he said that I will unite nationalists and socialists, and he make a third party that was the fascist party. Thank you for joining. I hope guys I hope this video become helpful video for you, and do not forget to subscribe to channel and please put your suggestions. Thank you for joining. Take care. Goodbye.